Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Trail Cam Monday. So it's been a while since the last episode, and that's mostly because I had some issues with this SPYPOINT Cell Link. Basically, I put it out in the winter. I put it fairly far from the house. It was quite a trek in the wintertime. I had to walk a good chunk of the way because it wasn't on a snowmobile or four-wheeler trail. So I didn't check it too often. And I stopped getting updates after a while, and so one time I thought, well, I'll go back there and I'll grab it and bring it back and check and see if there's any photos on it or what's wrong with it. I think it had showed the battery was dead. So when I get back in there, I go and pick up the camera and I realized that something had come. It had chewed this wire here almost completely off, so the data transfer cable for the SD card. I had the external antenna on it, and they had chewed into that as well. I'll show you that. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but it's pretty chewed up on the end. Not bad enough to damage the cable, but something was definitely chewing on it. It's possible it got water inside of it, although I'm not sure. Anyways, the biggest issue was that same animal, I presume, had chewed on this latch and actually popped it open so that it was like that. I don't remember how much it was opened, but it was enough that water got in, and it ended up so that it was sitting like this, so the water pooled inside. And by the time I got down there, it was basically, as far as I'm aware, completely wrecked. I put new batteries in it and stuff, but it was pretty rusted inside. And when I went to turn it on, it wouldn't turn on even if I supplied 12-volt power instead of a battery, regular AA's. So I was kind of worried how that would turn out, because some people say that SPYPOINT's support for their products isn't super great, and their customer support is takes a long time and everything to work. So I was kind of worried. So it was still within the warranty. It was I had it for 6 months, and I submitted an application to get it replaced, and they said that I could get it replaced. They told me they would send me a new one in the mail, and when I received it, to send it back. So this is actually the new one, and I've already set it up and just tested it at the house here, and it's working, so that's great. Huge thank you to SPYPOINT. Their customer support was awesome. I was on the phone with a person and they were super helpful. I'm going to go and set this up in the field with my favorite camera, the Wild Game 360, and hopefully start picking up more wildlife. The field, I'm not actually going to set up in the field I usually set them up in. You guys, if you've checked out previous videos, you'll have seen that field. I'm going to set this one up in a much larger field that is near a marsh that used to be a beaver pond, and also near some very dense softwood. And once in a while a moose goes through there, and I'm curious to see also what we'll see there. And as I've only ever put one of my small Tascos at one end of the field, which doesn't cover very much area, and that was wintertime. I'm not sure what I will see, but I'll take you guys out there and show setting it up and kind of show what the field looks like. It's a pretty big field. So I know I said we were going to go to that bigger field, but I thought I'd stop off here at this small field. You guys will probably recognize it if you've watched some of my previous videos. And put up a trail camera. I brought one of my Tascos with me. The other day I put out this pile of it's like a mixed grain with pellets in it. It was just some leftovers we had. And sure enough, it looks like the deer are enjoying it. You can see there it's eating in the pile because it got kind of damp. But there it's mostly dry, where I guess where they were eating. And I don't know if you can see it, but there's a deer track. So that's a good sign. I'm going to put the trail camera up right in those little trees right there and try to knock down some of this greenery so we can see to here. And then we'll go on to the next field. Alright, so that's a lot cleaner, better path for the camera. I set it up on this tree here. This is where I usually set it up. And while I was knocking over and cutting some of these weeds, I came across a little oak tree right here. Hopefully that grows nice and big someday and put some acorns here. The deer would certainly like that. Anyways, off to the next field. So this is the second field. It's a very large field, as you can see. And right over there is a marsh with a small creek flowing and a bit of a pond at the end. Over here is a trail that I often see, there's a wet spot in it where I drive my quad through, and I often see deer and moose prints in there. So I'm kind of thinking I'll probably put it somewhere central, somewhere in here. Probably right around there. Somewhere in there. So I'm gonna, and then I'm gonna try to walk down a bit of the weeds just to keep it from getting a lot of false triggers, and also to keep the weeds really close tend to obstruct the field of vision a lot more than if they're further away. So I'm gonna start doing that, and then I'll show you when I start setting up the camera. Alright, so I basically just drove my quad in a circle here a bunch of times to make a nice opened area. I also did it because a lot of the time in these fields there's wasps, so if I'm driving on the quad I can usually see them flying up behind me and get away before they get me. But it seems clear here. So I'm going to install it, I think, right about where I'm standing. Somewhere around right in there. That's probably where I'm going to put it. And that should give it a pretty good view. It's a little bit more raised than over there. And hopefully we'll see some interesting stuff coming through. Alright, so there's the camera set up. Now I'm going to put the cell phone, the SPYPOINT Cell Link module on it, and I think this time I'm gonna mount the module on the side of it here. Last time I mounted it on a separate stick, but this time I think I'm gonna try to mount it right here and use the strap to just go around that like it was a real tree. And I'm gonna put the antenna up right here so it's not blocking any of the camera's field of vision, and we'll see how good our cell phone reception is here. I brought the external antenna, but I'm hoping not to have to use it. Anyway, I'm gonna start putting it on, and then I'll show you when I've got it on and set up. Well, there you go. It's set up and running. I've got it attached to the camera like I was talking about here. And I tucked the cable in there so hopefully it won't come out or get chewed on. And I don't think the antenna will block the camera's field of view. It might a little bit, but not too much. Should be able to see a lot from this camera. And I have confirmed that it's sending photos, even though it only has 1 bar of internet or so, or 1 bar of cell signal. So we're good to go. Thank you all for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll see you in the next video.